General Hospital. A reckoning in Port Charles. Drew's day of judgment nears. In the twisting shadows of Port Charles, redemption is a rare commodity, and justice doesn't always come from the courtroom. Sometimes, it comes in the form of bruised knuckles and whispered retribution. That's precisely the kind of reckoning looming on the horizon for Drew Kaine. A man once lauded for his discipline, honor, and steadfast morality has now found himself tangled in a web of deception, betrayal, and fury, much of it of his own making. What began as speculation has erupted into something far more volatile, as the residents of Port Charles prepare to deliver consequences that the Navy SEAL turned tycoon might not be ready to face. The murmurs began quietly. Drew had changed. He wasn't the man people remembered, not emotionally, not morally, and certainly not strategically. While some attributed this shift to trauma and loss, others began to wonder whether there was something more sinister beneath the surface. Even Jason Morgan, a man of few words and fewer second chances, seemed to sense something wrong. Their recent confrontation wasn't just a disagreement, it was an eruption of years of buried tension. But what startled everyone wasn't that Jason took a swing, it was how easily Drew went down. That raised eyebrows. A man with Drew's military background shouldn't crumble under one punch, even from Jason. Which begs the question, who exactly is this man calling himself Drew Kaine? Theories swirled like a storm around General Hospital's corridors. Had Drew undergone more than just emotional transformation? Could he have been replaced, impersonated, perhaps by someone from the shadows of Port Charles's darkest days? Whispers of Shiloh's legacy bubbled to the surface again, with some die-hard viewers insisting the cult leader never really died, or at the very least, left behind acolytes willing to continue his deceit. But setting aside conspiracy, there's still the matter of Drew's actions. His betrayal of Portia was not just a romantic indiscretion, it was a tactical ambush, one that ripped through the trust Curtis had worked so hard to rebuild with his wife. Many wondered why Curtis didn't take matters into his own hands. Was it restraint? Strategy? Or simply a delay in the inevitable? Either way, the streets of Port Charles seem to echo with a shared sentiment: Drew Kaine has crossed too many lines. Adding to the tension is the return of Michael Corinthos. Once viewed as the moral compass of his generation, Michael's re-entry into the chaos threatens to tilt the balance in dangerous new directions. Unlike his father Sonny, Michael doesn't rely on intimidation or violence as first resorts, but that doesn't mean he won't resort to them at all. And if there's one person he holds in contempt right now, it's Drew. Their conflict is deeply personal. Michael blames Drew for manipulating family dynamics, for exploiting Willow's vulnerability during her illness, and for operating under the guise of integrity while quietly dismantling trust. The whispers that Michael may be planning his own confrontation, one not rooted in diplomacy, are growing louder. And those who know Michael best know he doesn't make threats lightly. But Drew's problems aren't limited to Curtis and Michael. Long-simmering distrust is also starting to boil over in other corners of town. Sam McCall, once entangled romantically with Drew, now looks at him with more caution than care. Even those who stood by him, like Carly, have begun to question whether the man they defended was ever truly who they thought he was. One of the more chilling realizations comes from fans who observe that Drew, despite the mounting pressure, seems strangely detached. He doesn't plead innocence, nor does he seem particularly apologetic. This stoicism could be the mark of a soldier accustomed to enemy fire. Or it could be something more calculating, more dangerous. As speculation brews, an undercurrent of dread courses through General Hospital. Some believe Drew's about to receive a punishment more brutal than a single beating, one of isolation, humiliation, and forced exposure. Port Charles may not kill him, but it may strip him of everything that ever made him human in the eyes of those around him. And still, the mystery remains. If Drew truly isn't himself, if he is a facade wrapped in familiar skin, then who is orchestrating the performance? And more importantly, why? Curtis, too, remains a wild card. His silence is deafening, his calm almost threatening. While he hasn't raised a hand, the man's record in takedowns, both literal and figurative, speaks for itself. Should Drew cross the line again, or should Curtis discover one more lie hidden behind those calm eyes? There's no telling what kind of reckoning will come. As viewers of General Hospital have come to expect, no secret stays buried for long in Port Charles. The question isn't whether Drew will face judgment, it's when, and from whom. Jason's punch was the beginning. What follows could shake the Kaine name to its foundation, if not obliterate it entirely. Drew once served his country with honor. Now, he must serve time in the emotional and social prison he helped build. For a man used to surviving war zones, the battle within the familiar walls of Port Charles might just be the deadliest one yet. Stay tuned. The reckoning has only just begun.